All right. So I guess what I'll do is I'll start with the Hunter Strikes because I actually bought that model first because I was able to get that at Adepticon last weekend. Bought a couple of them. Have already sold all of them because they're very popular. So let's go ahead and open this model. And I mean, I've seen the artwork, but I haven't actually seen it built. I haven't seen it like the frame at all. Like I've just been trying to avoid it because I'm excited about Kroot.
You have been very excited.
And people keep trying to spoil it for me. Like Justin Cook was sending me pictures of him building all the models on Thursday, and I'm like, I can't even get this damn box until Saturday, and you're already spoiling me with models. All right. So, as expected,
First, what do you think of the packaging?
what do I think of the packaging? It is just like every other limited edition character model. It is in this nice plastic crisp box that is a pain in the butt to get the frame out of.
Which is why I asked. Let's struggle with my Christmas limited edition one.
So it appears to be on a 32 millimeter base, which is going to be perfect because I believe all the new characters are on 32 millimeter bases.
Perfect.
And my goal for this model is to use them as a new trail shaper. I'm probably going to have 2 to 3 trail shapers in my army. So I'm excited to get him built and have him in that role because he looks pretty good as a trail shaper. So let's take a look. So he's been very similar to how the Farstalkers are, in which the old Kroot kit, the legs were a solid one piece, the torso was a solid one piece, and then you would glue those two together, and then the arms were separate as well. This particular model, that's not going to work. It's not going to work.
It's gonna work.
So,
oh, okay, I see what you mean.
So this particular model, so in previous Kroot kits, you had the flexibility of being able to build the model however you wanted. You could turn the torso a little bit, you could position the arms a little bit. This particular model is only going to go together one way, without cutting. And I feel like Games Workshop is starting to go to this new route in order to stop people from 3D printing accessories and 3D printing arms, which is fine, but it just makes it more of a pain in the butt to build.
So this is a limited edition model.
Yeah.
How would you rate the level of detail on this model compared to...
All right, now I need to actually look at it because I haven't really looked at it yet.
I know, I'm a monster.
So this particular model is based off of artwork that was released back in the first Tau Codex.
Ooh.
And there was a short story in the first Tau Codex about the Hunter Strikes, this model, in this exact pose, jumping over a tree and slaying a Dark Eldar warrior. And the model looks good. It looks exactly like the artwork. I mean, it's a little bit updated with the new design direction that they're doing for Kroot. I am a little bummed that it doesn't have the Dark Eldar model it's supposed to be fighting. But
we can make it happen. I have a couple of Dark Eldar models laying around the house.
Actually, I think it's a Ranger. I think it's an Eldar Ranger, actually. So we do have some Eldar Rangers, so maybe we could do that. I'll have to find the artwork and maybe make a little bit of a diorama using it.
Yeah, we can do that.
So the model is just like the Farstalkers. Like there's lots of little detail. Like there's individual rivets on the gun. There's leather wrapping that's unique. Like it looks like it's unique to this particular model, not mass produced. There's some leather straps. There's a chunk of meat, which is always my favorite to paint because it adds a little bit of extra color to the model. Yeah, it looks really good. It'll be fun to build. Hopefully I don't lose any of the pieces.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good trail stalker shaper. They have all new names now. I think it'll be a good trail shaper because of the way it looks and the rules. This box is heavy. I haven't purchased a codex in a very long time. And this is probably the first codex I've had since 7th edition. And I'm just surprised because it's going to be limited edition. It's going to be hardbound. And they just weigh a lot now. They weigh way more than they used to. All right, how do we open this box? Oh, there you go. All right.
Not like that.
So we got a sleeve protecting the actual box. And of course, I've already torn it. Because
Strong.
I'm an expert at opening boxes. All right, there you go. Let's make it a little easier on myself. So, nice protective sleeve. You could frame this and do artwork with it. Am I? No.
That's a nice presentation there.
It is a nice presentation. So this box set, if you were to buy it without any discounts, is $220 United States dollars, 175 English pounds or euros.
It's not the same. It's not 1 for 1.
No, it's not. So you have the artwork as well. Between the two, I'd probably cut this artwork out and frame it. This artwork just looks better.
That's really cool.
And it doesn't have the 40K logo.
Yeah.
It appears to be 18 by 12.
Nice.
I don't have the exact measurements of the box, but it appears to be 18 by 12, so you could get a frame for it relatively easily. All right. All the Kroot boxes.
So how many models in the box?
How many models are in the box? So there's 1 Krootox, there's 3 Kroot Rampagers, 20 Kroot Carnivores, a War Shaper, who looks super awesome in the art, and
it's the Mr. T-Boy?
The Krootox is the Mr. T-Boy.
Okay.
So let's set the frames aside, and let's actually get to the codex.
And from what you've seen so far, you've had Kroot boxes before, right? When the Kroot Carnivores came out?
Yes.
So is this box so far better, worse, more exciting, less exciting?
I mean, it's different. So I wish I had like a picture saved of what the original artwork looked like. So how Games Workshop presents their models now is different than how they presented their models back in 3rd edition when this box came out. So back in 3rd edition, they didn't have the actual model on the box.
No?
They had artwork of the models on the box.
Okay.
So, for example, like let's say I was going to buy a Crisis Suit Commander, the artwork on the box would look like this, and then it would say Crisis Suit Commander.
Okay.
So it's not the actual model, it's an artwork representation of the model.
And on these box it is...
But like when you look at this box, they
It's
have the
the mini.
actual model on the box.
Okay.
So you know exactly what you're getting. You have different angles and different positions on it. And so the boxes are just different. So we got the codex. It's already indented. Nice.
Strong.
I mean, this is just the protective wrapper and sleeve, so I don't really care about it. So we have, I guess these are the cards. We have Commander Farsight, or Commander Kroot Sight from my army.
Where is Kroot Sight? Do you have Kroot Sight laying around?
Kroot Sight is still in his box, or still in his army transport case.
Okay.
So, I don't want to take these out, but... So we have all of the cards that came with, that talk about all the new entries for the Tau Army. I know these have all been leaked online, but amazingly, the Pathfinders weren't leaked online, and then they're really just the top card. So I don't know how the internet just failed to get the Pathfinder card. But Eloise, if you look at this, I know. So Eloise has been printing the indexes, but you don't get shiny edges when you print off the indexes.
Thank you. Sorry. I hope the stream is doing all right without me. Oh, wow.
So these are limited edition ones.
That's cool.
So you have shiny edges, you have unique artwork on the actual cards. I don't know if...
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because you have the Rampager right there, and you have, looks like a Fire Warrior, Strike Team Fire Warrior there.
I might need to buy the Sisters one.
Well, the Sisters are getting a new codex coming here in the summer.
Justin says, Kroot Loops, baby.
Kroot Loops?
The cards look really, really good.
So I haven't actually ever seen the actual cards.
You've only seen my shitty printout?
Yeah, because so when all the index stuff came out, this was the first thing to sell out. Like, you could not get these cards because everybody wanted them, and I haven't actually seen them in person. So physically seeing them for the new Tau book, like, it's pretty cool. Will I use them? Maybe. I don't know.
I might. And yeah, Justin, that's what we were talking about. The presentation in those boxes has changed a lot since the last time GW released a Kroot box.
I mean, So the last Kroot box to come out was the Farstalkers.
Yeah.
And I don't have a box now, but it was under their Kill Team box set.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not actually labeled for 40K. It was a one-off box set
Yeah.
because they released the Imperial Navy guys versus the Farstalkers as like a boarding patrol box set. But this is the first actual like Warhammer 40K Kroot release, if we exclude the Farstalkers, since 2001. And it's just completely different. Like the presentation looks fantastic. So we have your standard instruction sheet, so we can find out how many errors there are when we build the models. Despite them using these new fancy guides on how to build models, they never go quite together. So
That is true. I have had some Seraphims that have had hits dysplasia for 3 years now.
well, my favorite is sometimes they mislabel the part numbers,
Yeah.
which it happens. I mean, it's just it is what it is. If you have any bit of hobbying experience, you can tell that hey, this is how you fix that. So just looking at the instructions, haven't looked at the frames yet. Like they're exactly like the Farstalkers. So the legs and torsos are together, but they're like cut in half. Like
Mm-hmm.
like this is Kung Fury and the guy with the machete cut the Kroot in half. Which is fine. I think some of these could be used if you're trying to make crisis suit conversions. Not all of them though, because they don't have like the sword and pistol blowout. They do have a couple variations. It looks like you're going to get some extra parts. It appears to be that there's two different main variations, and then two guys will have a third variation.
So when looking at the guide, any particularly challenging aspect of assembling that you anticipate right now?
Ooh, I literally just opened it. So anytime with these new builds, lining up the arms exactly can be it can be a struggle. Like we had that struggle when we were building the Sisters of Battle models. We had that I had that struggle when I was building the Farstalkers. It could be a pain just to get the arms precisely lined up, especially if you mistrim and you don't cut off all the flash, or you're using a glue that's more gel based instead of a liquid. They're definitely going to be more fiddly to put together, but I think they're going to be way more detailed. And speaking of way more detailed, literally right here is the Kroot puppy.
Oh.
Right there.
The puppy. I don't know if people can see the puppy. Have you seen the puppy, Justin, already?
So those instructions are per 10. So there should be 2 Kroot puppies on these frames.
He is number C21 and C20.
All right.
Not that we are diving head first.
Skipping ahead. All right.
We're skipping ahead for a Kroot puppy. It's
Okay.
the way.
Yeah. So you have 2 exact Kroot frames. So they're going to be selling them in boxes of 10. Where is the Kroot puppy?
That's cool.
Here you go. Here he is, right there. That's half of them at least. He got the Kung Fury treatment and was chopped in half as well. He's so adorable. Can we get a regular Kroot hound?
He is adorable.
Here's a regular Kroot hound. So this is the metal Kroot hound versus the baby Kroot hound. He's so adorable.
Yes. I am so excited for the baby Kroot hound.
Are you gonna paint my baby Kroot hound?
100%.
Oh, and I love the metal actual Kroot hounds instead of the new plastic ones. But I like the baby Kroot hound.
So Justin has built 1 full set so far, and he's working on the second box. You're slacking, champ.
You also got your stuff on Thursday, sir. I got mine yesterday. And then Eloise is like, we're going to not do 40K stuff today. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was tapped out.
So instead of building Kroot models, I played Mario Kart for like 4 hours last night.
Sure did.
We downloaded the booster pass, so there's like an extra 32 maps. We were playing that instead. That was a lot of fun. All right. So now that let me go back. So the instructions look simple, like same amount of pieces as your normal Kroot box. I hope there's a lot of accessories because like I want to add like cloaks on them, extra chunks of meat, extra bones, extra pouches. I have a lot of those leftover pieces from prior. I just hope there's some extra accessories in here to really customize what the models look like. All right, let's look at this codex. Oh, even the codex is shiny.
That's cool. And Justin says that he owns 8 Kroot Hound right now, and he's going to slap some extra Kroot puppies on the basis for 8 and 9.
So,
Well, Mr. T, welcome back. And Big Mike says that he's been playing Final Fantasy VII for the last couple of days, so he knows the feeling of playing
are you playing the remake? Not the
the Rebirth. Yeah.
Rebirth.
Yes, he is.
Nice. So
That's so cool. If they make shiny cards and shiny codexes, I might buy myself some hard copies.
So this is limited edition. So they're not going to be making this for all the Sisters books, but if they come out with a unique Sisters of Battle box set, you'll get a unique looking codex like this. So we have the iconic artwork from the 4th edition codex for Tau, where Cyclonic Ion Blasters were first introduced. Pour one out for Cyclonic Ion Blasters, everybody.
Rip.
And then you also have the introduction of what's on the new Kroot box too.
That's cool.
So in years prior, so when Tau first came out, Kroot were a very fundamental part of the army. They were very popular. They had Kroot Mercenaries come out in 2004, I believe, the rules for Kroot Mercenaries, and they were very interesting and a unique part of the Tau army. And as Games Workshop continued developing the line, like they kind of let Vespid and Kroot get ignored by the wayside. So I'm happy to see that they're actually giving them a little bit more attention. I still hope we could have got a greater Narlock though.
You will never let that one go, will you?
I will not.
So when seeing that level of detail on the cards and on the book and everything, does it make you reconsider how good of an investment hard copies are?
No.
You are very opinionated
I
on
am
that.
very opinionated about hard copies. So the problem with the hard copies, and I have felt this way about every single rulebook that I've bought, is that it's immediately invalidated. As soon as you buy this book, it's like this book hasn't even been officially released yet. Like there's no official Tau Codex, and then they have the points. Let's see if we can find the points pretty easily.
Justin says that the big Kroot monster would have been pretty cool. Like him?
Yeah, that's a greater Narlock. Crusade rules. I have no idea what the points
Sorry,
are.
I keep asking questions. Quite sure that is my job. Points are obsolete day 0. The points are in the book. I didn't know that.
They are. And I don't understand why they continue to put the points in the codex if they're immediately obsolete.
Yeah.
But like, there's going to be an FAQ. Like, there might be something in here that is not the intended wordage, and it's going to be FAQ'd. So that means, like, if you love the fluff and you love the storyline, like, it's a great investment.
Mm-hmm.
But if your sole purpose is to play in tournaments, like, it's immediately invalidated.
Yeah.
And Eloise and I were having this discussion yesterday. You can't just buy the digital code. I don't know why Games Workshop won't let you buy the digital code. That's so weird to me.
Oh, did you hide your digital code so that people cannot?
If they want to steal it, it's okay.
That's the only reason why you want the codex. So my theory is the Warhammer app works, and the GW people put in the work to maintain it, because if they make it accessible to the people who have the codes, they are putting in the time, effort, and money to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So why not make the subscription a little bit more and give everybody access to every data sheets?
Charge $10 a month and give everyone access to things. It will sell. People will buy it. Like, I would buy a subscription.
Yeah,
I don't currently own a subscription in the app. There's no point for me to own a subscription. You
don't want to watch Warhammer TV?
They don't produce enough content for me to justify the cost.
True.
So
Mr. T says that Brad told him to enjoy the lore.
I do enjoy the lore, and I'll read the lore. I'm sure there's more Kroot lore now that they have more units and more um, entries. Like,
And Michael,
the best part about the codexes, in my opinion, have always been the artwork. Like, if you look at the rule book, if you look at any of the rule books, like from third edition when they first introduced Necron Warriors, like this artwork is amazing. Like this looks absolutely awesome. Like I would get a framed picture of this somewhere.
it is very aesthetically pleasing, yeah. And
But the points are
Bigfoot says that if your code gets stolen, he has extra that he can send you.
Let's see. Yeah, I got some Rampager artwork, killing some Dark Eldar warriors. Perfect. So there's definitely a lot of fluff in here. There's a lot of storylines that actually talk about Kroot. I'm not going to review all this today just because it's so much reading, but like it's a nice codex. Would I pay more than a regular codex for a shiny cover with alternative artwork? No.
I 100% would.
Well, so there was a while back in like 7th and 8th edition where they released limited edition Space Marine codexes that were going for $150.
Oh yeah, no.
And they were immediately invalidated, and then they changed editions, and then they collected dust.
Yeah, no.
And it's stuff like that. I just can't. I can't get over.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at these characters. So we have the Flesh Shaper. I didn't realize he had a butcher's axe and a blade and a shotgun. Too bad his rules are kind of meh.
So how would you customize him? Bigfoot is a really outdated term, and we prefer the term Sasquatch. Yes, Sasquatch. It should be Sasquatch.
Sasquatch, Yeti, Swamp. What's?
I would hate to be any kind of cultural appropriation of.
How would I personalize him? Maybe I'll give him a chef's hat and put him at a dinner table.
Oh, nice.
So in the new lore, so it used to be that any shaper in the Kroot would provide the food for the kindred to evolve and develop themselves. Now it is specifically the Flesh Shaper who's in charge of that. And he looks like he's going to murder somebody in the face repeatedly and butcher them. So maybe a little bit more dramatic posing. We'll have to see how it comes together. I haven't actually built him yet, so I'll probably have one unique one, and if I get a second one, I'll make him a little bit more dramatic and more imposing. But
And we do have tiny beer bottles and a outdoor chair.
I broke the outdoor chair.
How do you call this outdoor chair?
A patio chair.
Patio chair?
Yeah, like a plastic patio chair. What? Adirondack chair?
Yes.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just a patio
Sorry,
chair.
I swear.
Eloise is having a stroke. So it appears that this model comes on a 32mm base, which will be pretty cool. So all the characters will stand out on 32mm bases.
You can put him on a chair with a little grill, like a barbecue, and a couple of empty beers. 100%.
I mean, that was my plan for Anva, but rest in peace, Anva, you no longer exist. All right, so the character I am really curious about is the War Shaper. He has 2 different loadouts, and he has this Turok bow, and I wish it would shoot explosive bolts.
And how do you plan to paint him?
How do I plan on painting him? So my Kroot Tau, they're all red. They all have red flesh.
Mm-hmm.
The original Kroot all have orange flesh. So we were actually at the game store yesterday. We bought like 4 different types of orange paint.
We did. I don't know where the paint is, but
it's in this bag right over here.
We stocked up on orange, on many different kinds of orange paint. So Justin is asking, who is Anva? Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Anva. Rest in peace.
And Summer Barbecue Tao would really crack me up. Especially within the lore, his job is to bring food. I agree.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's put that there. All right. So if anyone has an extra Flesh Shaper, I will 1000% convert him into a chef. He's going to be ratatouilleing this shit up with the dog banging at the grill. I'm going to put a 40mm. He's going to have a baby Kroot hound, Kroot puppy, at the base, barbecuing on a grill.
Wow, that orange is orange on the camera.
Yeah.
No,
This one?
No, the contrast one. Yeah, that one, the citadel one.
So I don't quite know what I'm going to do yet. So how I've been painting the Tau recently, I've been priming them black and then using a very light gray to slap chop. I hate the way that is, but you're doing harsh highlights on the black paint to pick out the details. And when you put contrast paint on them, it allows more shadow and highlights.
Yep.
More of a gradient transition. So I'm going to need to paint a lot of Kroot really quickly. So I think I'm going to go with this bright orange that I have here.
Mm-hmm.
If this is too bright, I have a darker orange on my workshop desk now. And we also have this Pro Acryl dark orange. And we also have Nuclear Sunrise. So we will figure it out.
Nuclear Sunrise is also an ink / contrast paint / however you want to name it.
And then in addition, I'm not painting the Kroot this color, but we found this Vallejo Game Effects Special FX Galvanic Corrosion, which will look really cool on some metallic bases I'm going to be working on here soon.
So we basically took
We bought
took
all
the
orange,
the orange out of each brand that they have available at our game store.
But the original color scheme that I had, and you can put it on the camera, Eloise, if you want. They don't produce this color orange anymore. This was painted back in like 2004, and they just no, not the dog. I only have 100 more
Mike
of them.
says that he needs a spatula for it as a close range weapon for his far sight.
Done. Can do. We have a 3D printer. We have the technology.
We do.
So this particular orange doesn't exist anymore. So I have to start over. But yeah.
Which is sad.
It's okay. I don't mind updating the color scheme. It's just like all the other Tau stuff. I've been updating their color schemes as well. So the Warshaper, I do want to get a second one just to have one of each version, but I think...
Wait.
Oh,
It appears we're dying.
we're dying.
Yes.
I don't want to die.
Me neither. CPU 8%. Signal is good. Well,
Do you want to put it on a wait screen and let it kick over a little bit?
no, it's coming back.
Okay.
It's okay. Sorry. It tells me that it's dying, but it's fine.
It's
So
fine.
it's fine with a capital F. So let's go. It's
go.
fine.
All right, so we got the Warshaper. I really hope they clarify his rules. So right now, the Warshaper is really only valid in the Kroot detachment, and there are some people who believe he can revive a squad, including me, for 0 CP, just because of order operations. There are other people who don't like Kroot and don't want them to have fun, and won't let it do it. So I hope that there's going to be a FAQ day 1 to clarify whether or not the Warshaper can indeed bring back 20 Kroot from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he should be able to, but we'll see.
So what is that rule that is in question?
The rule in question is that the Warshaper allows you to use a stratagem for free on the unit he's attached to. And when you allocate shots, you allocate damage and saves one at a time. We don't do that because we play fast. We play speedy. But as soon as the 20 adjoining Kroot are dead, you should theoretically be able to revive the squad and put them in strategic reserve for free.
Yeah.
But there are people who don't like fun and don't like Kroot, and they're worried about 20 guys with the equivalent of really bad bolters taking over the game and winning.
We do not talk enough about people with bad bolters.
It would be a bigger deal, in my opinion, like if it was a unit of Rampagers or one of the characters being brought back to life, but it's either 10 Kroot Hounds or 20 regular Kroot.
So sorry, I squirreled you with the color. You were going through the characters, and not Anva.
So we got the Warshaper. Here you go. Here, if you want to take a look and give your opinion.
So the Warshaper. I like
That's the Flesh Shaper.
the Flesh Shaper.
Yeah.
I like the weapon holding thing.
The weapon
How do you
thing.
call that?
The shotgun holster.
The shotgun holster.
I'm going to have so many shotguns in my army. We found a 3D file in STL of all the Farstalker shotguns.
Just in case.
Just in case. I'm going to put so many shotguns on my Kroot.
So the meat cooking person, the soon-to-be barbecue master, the pit master,
The Pitmaster.
and not Anva. I like that. So I'm a stickler for the details. I play sisters, so I'm a stickler for the details. I like the. He's an archer.
Yep. So he has an archer and he has like a predator like 3-point dagger that he
Yeah.
throws, or he has like a chain hook and a combat stave.
So how are you going to
You get
tool him?
it's either or.
Yeah.
I'll
So
probably have one of each. That's get a second one. I have one of each loadout. One's better in close combat. One's better in shooting. The shooting, if you're taking the Kroot stratagem for devastating wounds, the shooting one is infinitely better.
ah.
Devastating wounds at range is way better than devastating wounds in close combat.
Mike said that he's going to have all the shotguns. So we need to print him a mini barbecue, a mini spatula, and a lot of shotguns.
Okay.
We can do that, sir.
So now I'm looking at the Krootox, and Justin ruined it for me, but he gave me some confirmation. So this new plastic Krootox is the same exact size as the current Krootox. So if you have a whole bunch of the old metal Krootox or fine cast ones, it's the same size. You just have to rebase your models. The gun is slightly bigger and it has 2 barrels on it, so you can convert them up a little bit. This model totally looks like Mr. T with the amount of gold chains that he's going to have on him. And I do like how there's multiple heads and multiple weapon options, and it looks like it'd be pretty easy to magnetize.
So do you have any current existing
I do.
Krootox?
Right
Apparently
here.
that word refused to come out.
So,
So they are exactly the same sculpt?
same sculpt, no, but same size, yeah. These ones are a little more chonky, like they look more like apes and gorillas. Yeah, I got 3 of those, so I'll probably slap some guns on them because I was using them as a different unit that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll slap some guns on them and call it a day.
Nice.
But I will run 9 Krootox at a tournament very soon.
Justin says, "Oh yes, please blame me."
I'm blaming you. You spoiled the entire box for me.
The entire box.
So if we're looking at the rules,
And Mr. T is sad because he says, "Well, now I guess I have to build the one that I have," or he says, "But I'd have to build the one that I have."
if you don't, I'll build it for you and I'll put it in my collection. It'll go to a good home. So the Krootox rules are actually really good for the points. We don't know what the official points are finally going to be, but even if they're 40 points, like a unit of 3 for 120, so much better than Rampagers. Having access to guns, this same exact stat line in close combat, way better. Between the 2 guns, I think you're always going to take the Strike 7 Rapid Fire AP1 2 damage weapon.
Mm-hmm.
The Kroot army will have a plethora of anti-infantry guns. You just will never take that unless they change the stats.
So the one in the box are 10% thicker than the old one.
Oh,
They thick.
they thick. That's okay. I'm still gonna use the old metal ones. I only have 3, so like, let's just. I mean, this starter box came with 1 Krootox. They come up in the units of 3. I don't know what the individual price of a Krootox is going to be when they actually get released, but let's assume it's $35. That's a lot of money. So I am definitely going to use the metal ones that I already have. So I think the model that everybody was most excited about was the Rampagers. And these look pretty cool.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, Rampager.
So I haven't built one yet, so I haven't actually seen in close combat, but like looking at the weapons, so they have a mixture of spears and pistols. They have hook axes to like rip off people's armor. Like they look like they want to fuck shit up. They do not have the point values currently to justify that, but they want to. They look like they want to fuck shit up.
Yeah, Mr. T. Mr. T has Finecast Krootox, and his Finecast Krootox are warped because heat and the years. Like the Finecast people with the long guns.
Yeah.
The Eldar with the long guns. Guardians? Not the other ones.
Rangers.
Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of my Ranger is semi-happy to see you because his gun is shooting very close next to his feet. Sorry. Let's go back to what you were talking about. Squirrel.
No, this is just a cool looking kit. I think it'll be very popular. The point value printed in the codex. We know this isn't final. It's going to change immediately. You'll never see them on the table because they're so fragile. But they look really cool. Like they're so cool looking. Here, like look at the weapons always. Like they have like hook
Oh, the
axes.
harpoons?
Yeah, they got harpoons. They got pistols. Like they have some cool shit.
They do.
They look like they want to fuck shit up. And like, let's actually look at the entry so I can show you what they're supposed to
And
look
then you
like.
look at them and they're super flimsy.
They have a 5+ save. Here. Let's see if we can find something.
So far, is the box meeting your expectations, or were you hoping for something different?
So these are what the range pages are supposed to look like, just so you can visualize. Like I've seen the artwork, and I don't know if you have.
Like that. Those ones, or those ones?
These guys.
These guys. These guys. Yeah, they look pretty cool.
Like they look
So what's the
aggressive.
difference between that and the Norlogs?
Well, so
But the
those are.
Krootoks, sorry.
So this is a Krootox. He's an old man. This is the Blizzard of dogs.
That's a Krootox.
That's a Krootox.
So Krootoks.
He's the old man. The Rampagers are baby, like juvenile Krootox. Like
But
they're-
not as juvenile as... I cannot see the baby on the artwork.
Well, there's
puppy.
different lineages. So you have Kroot, and then you have Kroot Hounds, and then you have Krootox, and then you have Narlox. They're all in the Kroot family. They're just different lineages. But Rampagers are like adolescent Krootox.
Okay.
So they have exactly the same look, a little bit less hair, but they're more angry. Amazingly, they have the same stat line in close combat. I don't get it.
Oh, it's the one that does mortals versus the one that doesn't do mortals. That's what you were talking about
that's the only
yesterday.
difference
Okay.
between the two. I can have one that shoots and contributes to shooting guns all game, every game,
Mhm.
or I can have the one where if the guy makes it into combat, into base to base, he does mortals on a 4+. And not like Blood Crushers, who are, if you get one model, every model in the unit counts as being in close combat. Silly. So looking at the Kroot frames themselves, there are some new weapon options that are available for the Kroot carnivores that don't exist currently in the current plastic frame. The first thing is instead of having Tau pulse rifles or pulse carbines, they now have like double-barreled shotguns,
Mhm.
which is pretty cool. They're damage 2 weapons on the sergeants. Definitely gonna take some of those. And they also have a special weapon that's like a grenade launcher. Probably
Nice.
won't equip the grenade launcher. I mean, you can, it's free. I just don't ever see using it.
Well, put it up and take it from there.
Yeah. But
Baby
they're-
Kroot, do. Yes.
But this looks good. I'm excited for the baby Kroot hounds. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them.
Do.
I'll probably put them on the bases of my characters, like puppies in training. But it's a cool box. Here, did you want to look at the double-barreled guns, Eloise?
I sure do. And in your opinion, how well do the sculpt capture the essence and the character of the Kroot within the universe? You've seen.
I think it is a faithful rendition of what Kroot are supposed to look
Oh,
like.
nice.
They look more agile. They look more streamlined. The Kroot carnivores themselves are a little more naked than their predecessors.
So they're becoming women and they just need a bikini as armor?
Yeah.
Okay.
They definitely have less clothing than they did before. But we could change that with green stuff and adding on accessories.
Very much so.
But no, I'm very happy with how the kit came out. Like, I'm excited to build them. I have some more pieces and parts coming, so get really going.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
So what are you getting? I will not say from whom because I'm quite sure that whomever is sending you those is currently in the chat right now.
But no, just getting some extra squads to buff things out. I didn't want to buy multiple box sets because if I buy multiple box sets and I have multiple codexes and codes, and I don't want that. I may get another box of the carnivores though, because they do look pretty cool.
Nice.
But
After seeing the sculpts yourself and not through Justin spoiling you, do you feel more inspired and motivated to paint and convert those?
I am. I am excited. I'll wait until I get a couple more of the models just so I have them all ready to go, and I'll probably have just like a Kroot building day where
Oh,
like I
yeah.
work on the bases, and I'll build bases for everybody so I can get all the other stuff updated and
Mhm.
on current scale. Magnetize the bases because if I'm taking a pure Kroot detachment, it's going to take up a lot of space, and I don't want to build new trays for them, so I'll magnetize everything and put them on a metal tray.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at list yesterday when I was just writing out by hand, and I'm getting somewhere about 200 models
Oh,
in a
crap.
2,000 point army. It's a lot. So the next couple months will be filled with building and painting Kroot. And that's why I wanted to figure out a color scheme that would be quick and easy. And I think doing the contrast paints, while not the most glamorous way of painting models, it gets stuff done pretty quickly. And then I can pick out all the details and highlights with other colors.
Hey, it does not need to be romantic.
It's the base coating. I hate base coating. I rather paint details all day. I hate painting base coats.
Yeah.
It takes forever. But yeah, so we'll have all my Kroot won't be green as is presented here. They'll be bright orange, and there'll be various flesh tones of orange based on the age of the Kroot. Because I feel like the older Kroot model gets, the more dark orange it would be.
Oh, I know that feeling. The older I get, the darker I get.
All the freckles, all the orange freckles and everything.
I was thinking about my humor, but my skin
your humor is pretty dark.
My skin too, I guess.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm excited for Kroot. I'm excited for the new Tau book. I don't know when the actual Tau rules will launch. If I had to make an educated guess, we'll be able to use Tau by Cinco de Mayo. So we'll have an actual Kroot party with tacos and margaritas.
That's exciting.
But any tournament in April that someone might attend, you're probably not going to be allowed to use these rules.
No.
Which is a bummer.
And any of the sculpts where you look at it now firsthand and like, you exceeded my expectation, boy.
I really like the Rampagers because they only showed them from the front. They didn't show them from the back, like all the spheres and weapons and different
They
close
got a
combat
nice
weapons.
butt?
They do have nice butts. But because of how dramatic they're posed, you can do stuff where they're like jumping off, like rock cliff facings or like running upside buildings.
Yeah.
Like make them look really dramatic.
They have some very dynamic posing on the...
And same thing with the carnivores. Like the carnivores before 2001 plastic carnivores, like they're very like, they're like this, or they're like this, like there's only so many ways you could build them.
Either pointing their gun toward the left or towards the right.
Or up sometimes.
Ooh,
Sometimes they had a knife. But there's definitely more dramatic poses, so it looks like they're more fluid. It looks like they're about to actually go eat something.
Nice.
So I'm definitely excited to paint everything.
So is Mike, apparently. He's saying that Kroot actually now have him excited for 40K again. And you've been in the dwell and well of despair with Space Marines. So
I'm still bummed about Space Marines. I've only played like 2 games of Space Marines in 10th edition. And behind me, I am covered in Space Marines. And I have 100 Space Marine models sitting next to me that are ready to be green stuffed, converted, and have custom bases made, and I haven't touched them. Like I'm just bored with Space Marines. But this is exciting.
And that's a year before Mike was born.
And God damn it, Mike.
And yes, probability. Rampagers got that thick ass.
They got that thick ass.
Bring all the Kroot Hound to the yard.
I do not like the new plastic Kroot Hounds though.
Do you have any in there?
No.
No.
So I can show them in the codex.
Yeah. Sorry, I could help as well. Or I can let you fight with it. It's more
Let me
fun.
fight with it. So I've seen the new plastic Kroot Hounds because it was in the Farstalker boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So, the box that your family bought me last year?
Yes.
Because they were like super excited and they want to give me an early birthday gift, I guess.
Yes.
So, well, it came with 2 plastic hounds. And I sold them both to Justin. I did not like the way they look. Okay. Okay. So you have this. Here, I'm going to show you, Eloise. So you haven't seen it. So you have this.
Okay.
This is a slender murder dog. Like he looks like he's hangry and he is ready to eat shit.
He sure does.
He's slender. He looks like he moves fast. He has all the gear on him and everything. Like he
Yes.
looks like he's going to fuck shit up.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Okay. That's the new plastic one. He looks like a chonky pug.
He looks like our beagle.
He looks like a beagle. He looks like he had a couple too many dog treats. And like super muscular. Like I just don't like it. It offends my sensibilities. I do not like this model at all. They're too chunky. I was never going to buy any to begin with because I own 108 of these stupid metal ones.
Yes.
So I was never going to buy this particular Kroot Hound, but like I would never buy it now anyways because I don't like the way it looks.
The greater good appreciates good doggos. That is for sure. That is for sure, Justin.
But yeah. So I think next on my purchasing list, I don't know when they're coming out, but Eloise and I were definitely chatting about getting one of the new Lone Spears whenever that comes out.
The one that's riding an axolotl?
Yeah, the one that's
Yes.
riding an axolotl. So I'll probably get one legitimate one and one that I actually have, which is going to ride a Kroot, Narlock. So, whoops. So I have 4 of these, and this is my Narlock, and I think what I'll do is I totally just broke him.
Congrats.
Thanks. Resin models. So what I'll do is since I have 4 of these, I will make one of my Lone Spears and just put them on the proper base because it's one of the, it appears to be one of the ghost keel size bases, and just have a Kroot riding on top of it with all the spears and everything, and it looks like I have a lot of them on these frames, or I could 3D print something too. But this looks way cooler than the axolotl.
I don't know. I think the axolotl looks cute, which for an army called carnivorous, cute is probably not what you want to go with.
We have our cute quota. We have the Kroot Hound puppy.
You do.
We do not need an axolotl.
No.
We need vicious dinosaurs like this. More vicious dinosaurs. GW, if you're watching this video,
You got lost.
Next edition, if you do not come out with a giant dinosaur, everyone who plays Kroot is going to be very upset.
Yes.
We're already upset, but we're going to be even more upset. This is an opportunity. This could have been a showcase model for Tau. Like, not this size, but like bigger.
Yeah.
Like, you saw the Riptides, right? So
Yeah.
Riptides are currently a showcase model for Tau, along with the Storm Surge. Why do we not have a giant Kroot dinosaur as a showcase model?
I am an axolotl enjoyer, and Lone Spear looks cool, and Justine and Mr. T are very excited for Lone Spear.
I'm excited for the rules, but I'm totally going to use him instead.
And Mike wants
and if you don't believe me that I have more, I literally have one here. Here's another one. Here's another one. And the parts are here. I don't feel like putting them together. This one's 3D printed though, so we won't use him. He's a little too big.
And Mr. T said that they should have done something like the Lizard Man T-Rex size thing.
Something. So I don't know how much everyone's been diving into the actual like Kroot rules, but they have a lot of potential. Like they play very cagey. There's a lot of shenanigans like with move blocking that you could do, with regenerating units, with giving units low and operative. The problem is that if you take a pure Kroot detachment, you will not be able to kill anything.
Yes.
Like, you know how Sisters of Battle are kind of bad? Well, Sisters of Battle still have flamers and meltaguns and multi-meltas.
They do.
Kroot don't have any of that. Like, it's literally, can I outnumber you with bodies? Then I win.
Fair.
And I just feel like they needed a good showcase model, like a nice monstrous creature, or something that was more anti-tank oriented, because the Rampagers aren't doing it. They're really cool, but they're not doing it rules-wise.
So in your opinion, Tau are coming back in popularity.
Yes.
Do you think it's because of the Kroot box, or do you think the Kroot box will attract new people to the Tau greater good word? Like how do you think people will react?
So Tau have been around since 2001 when they came out originally. And
Is it a year before
Mike being born, yes, Ascot. And there have been fans of Kroot and there are fans of Tau. Usually you don't like both. Usually it's either or. And from what I saw, just following various Kroot groups, not like Kroot support groups, like we need help because we're mentally deranged.
I mean,
there's a lot of love for the lore of Kroot. There's a lot of love for the look of Kroot, and those people are definitely going to be getting more engaged into Kroot. They'll play Tau, but they're really excited about like all the new models.
They're
all
playing
the sculpts,
Tau to play Kroot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like me. That's one of the things I do. I'd rather play Kroot.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of the anime mecha style of Tau.
Sorry, Justin.
And there's a lot of people who like the anime mecha style of Tau. And they're not happy that they did not get a new Tau model this codex. They're not. Like, I've been seeing a lot of complaints like, more Kroot? Where is the Tau? Like, no, we need Kroot models. So I think it's a mix. You'll have people coming back because of good codex with strong rules, but then you're going to have a lot of people who are just really excited about Kroot.
Fair. The new Kroot model have Mr. T warm up to Kroot, and Sasquatch called the support group Kroot Anonymous. Hi, I am Brendan.
I'm the president of Kroot Anonymous.
and
I have so many Kroot.
And Justin says that he's a huge weeb for preferring tank to...
You weeb, you.
I don't know what weeb means.
It's a slightly derogatory term to people who like anime.
Okay. So now that you've seen what's in the box, what they look like, how finely they are sculpted and everything, what do you think of the value of the box?
What do I think of the value? So these units, if we're talking about a dollar value, like how many points you get per dollar value, you really do not get that much money worth.
Well, I know that when we bought the Sisters box, I was getting my money's worth of what I was paying. Like, I was getting a strong 40% price reduction versus buying the units individually.
So if I were to buy these units individually, I feel like I saved money. I don't know how much money I've saved because they haven't
They're
released.
not sold individually.
They're not sold individually yet. But I feel like I probably saved about like 20%.
Okay.
Like I would imagine that the 10 Kroot are probably somewhere near $50.
Yeah.
$50 to $60 just based on other infantry units.
Yeah.
And I get 2 units. So let's assume they're 60. That's $120. The Rampagers are probably $50 to $60. So that's another 6. It's $180. Then you have the characters. Well, characters generally run between $25 and $35.
Yeah.
So we'll say 30. So 2 characters, that's another 30. It's 240. And then you have the Krootox, who's probably going to be about 40.
So that's a very decent value.
So it's about $300 worth of Kroot. If I had to make an educated guess with no discounts.
Some in the air value.
Sophisticated, wild-ass guesses right here. This is probably about $300 worth of Kroot. And then you have the Codex, which is $50, and the cards, which are 30.
Okay.
So you're getting your money's worth. Now, if we're talking about price per point, you do not get your money's worth.
Oh. Because point-wise, currently, as stated in the Codex, they are cheap as chips.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you look at AdMech's another one of those armies, along with Gene Stealer Cult and Imperial Guard. You're spending so much money to get that 2,000-point army where it becomes a
It becomes your 401k.
Yeah, you're just spending so much money. If you were to do a full Kroot army without any discounts, it's probably the most expensive army in the game.
And you could not kill anything.
Correct.
But you can swarm the table.
You could swarm the table. Like, I would be really interested to see what the difference is between AdMech in how many models of your standard 2,000-point AdMech army costs compared to how much your standard 2,000-point Kroot army costs.
So AdMech is becoming a horde army like Tyranids.
Yeah.
And Justin says that it's because Kroot are cheap trash pandas.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. T is like currently 40 points in the Codex. It wouldn't surprise me if he's 35 points. So if this model is $50, which
$50 for 35 points is not. Yeah.
it's not. It's $1.25 per point. Like that is a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's amazing amounts of detail in here, and this is a very lovely model. But if you're trying to build an army with 9 of these, that's a lot of money.
But it is a very beautiful.
It is.
It is a very beautiful.
These are all very
sculpt.
aesthetically appeasing. You don't have to worry about fine cast anymore, which is the worst. Fine cast is literally the worst thing that's
Mr.
ever
T,
been created.
sorry.
I don't own any fine cast models, but I do own metal models. The ones that you could put in a tube sock and beat somebody with. This is a metal Kroot model, and like it went together relatively painlessly.
Is it a better or worse investment per dollar per point than Sister of Silence?
Whew. Without actually building a list, I don't know. Sisters of Silence are up there. A pure Sisters of Silence attachment is pretty close to Kroot value in lack of inability to kill anything. Let me call Mike Henderson after this. I'm calling him out. I want to do Kroot Mercenaries versus Sisters of Silence match.
Justin says that it's $450 for 315 points of Kroot dogs. That is a lot of money for not a lot of points. And Mr. T thought that putting them in a sock and beating people with it was in the codex.
It is. That's the only way you're going to win with Kroot, is if you put your metal models in there and you beat people with them, because they're not actually killing anything.
Pure Sister of Silence sounds like an amazing army. Very much so. There is on our channel a video of a Under the Influence Brad playing a Under the Influence Eloise, Sisters of Battle versus Sisters of Silence army. And by half of turn 2, we just decided to give up because it was too boring, but we were laughing our head off. If you ever get bored, you can watch this video.
I actually want to play that game now. I was already talking smack about Eloise's sisters. Like,
yes, once you have built all of that.
Once I have 2,000 points of pure Kroot ready to go, which I don't know how long it'll take me. It depends on like schedules and other projects I have coming up. I want to do a 2,000 point pure Kroot detachment, no Tau, just Kroot versus Sisters of Battle. And if Eloise tailors her list to include all the flamers, I will be sad.
Oh yes, I 100% will. I am one of those terrible players. Like if you play with or against me, if I play flyers, I make the sound of the engine of the airplane, or I make the sound of the wings. And if I play flamers, I go when I flame things. I am one of those terrible players, and I love flamers. So I have a lot of flamers built. Like I think I can do 3 units of Sisters of Battles with all the flamers you can put on them.
Let's see, you have 3 units of Seraphim, you have a unit of Dominions with flamers, and you have a unit of Retributors with flamers. So you have 5 units with flamers.
2 Dominions with flamers.
Oh. Do you have 2 units?
Yeah.
Right.
I got carried away building the flamers.
Well, I mean, the flamer's the coolest looking weapon with the worst rules.
They are. So now that we are coming towards the end, is there anything specific that you would like to see included or changed in this box? Like what could GW have done different?
I think having the showcase model that they're kind of pushing, the Lone Spear, would have been a very good addition.
Yeah.
I think instead of like the Kroot, putting the Lone Spear in there would have been like, this is it.
The perfect
because
box.
if you look at like the Sisters of Battle box that we have sitting right there, Eloise, like you get 2 tanks. Like you get the Exorcist, which is the showcase piece. There was the Christmas box sets that came out where Morven Val is front and center, or you had Angron front and center. And you just don't have that. Like, yeah, they're all new models and they look really cool, but I would have really loved to see like the Lone Spear. Yeah. I think they would have sold way more copies of this if they had the Lone Spear featured in the box.
Right. And it's your first unboxing.
It is my first unboxing.
On video.
It is.
So, did the unboxing experience meet, exceed, or fall short of what you expected? And can you elaborate?
Well, I didn't have gloves, so I should have put gloves on.
We should have done that.
You know, like to actually, and we could have done ASMR for a chance where we
Mr.
can.
T, here comes the ASMR. Wait. It's ASMR time for Mr. T.
No, I think it's fun. I'm clearly passionate about Kroot. I'm passionate about playing 40K. Like, I literally just won Adepticon with a purely converted army of Tau with all Kroot bodies. So I'm really excited about this. I'm excited to be building these models and customizing them and converting them. If I win the lottery, maybe I'll buy another box set before they go out of style just to get some extra bodies to play around with. So we'll see what happens. But I'm really excited to work on these models and put them together and start painting them.
Jen says that this is why he tunes in.
Personalized content like that. Somebody would pay $59.99 for that.
on
Kroot only fans.
only Kroot.
only Kroot. So speaking of Kroot, so later today, so I know it is Easter and everyone besides us is probably spending time with their families.
Funny what?
Family. It is Easter, so people are spending time with families.
Don't know her.
Don't know her. We spent time together and our 3 dogs, and we were drinking alcohol and eating breakfast on the patio. It's fantastic.
It was cool.
But at 8 p.m. today on the Death or Glory channel, and it will be streamed here as well. Myself, Brad Chester, Justin Cook, who's in the chat, and Lyle Dixon will be talking about the new tab book, and we'll be making lists. And we'll be talking about like the various entries and combinations that we're looking at for each detachment. So I'm going to submit a Kroot detachment, and I'm also going to submit a Kalyan detachment, because those are the 2 that I'm really looking at. Whereas I believe Justin's looking at Monka, and I think Lyle's really excited about the Retaliation cadre.
Nice. Any additional comment or thought you'd like to share about the Tau book, the Kroot box, the special edition boy?
I really like the special edition guy. I like everything. I'm super excited to get this all done. I was thinking about selling these cards, but now that I know that they're shiny and holographic, I might have to keep them.
Wait, can I have one character, please? Thank you. This is some feet pics. Some Kroot feet pics to bring the subscriber numbers up. And Mike says that he will see you later. He will be trolling in the chat as usual.
Perfect. So I believe we'll be streaming on the Death Glory chat. I'm going to convince Brad to also stream here just because I want Tau content. So if you have any ideas for what you would like to see, if you want me to do just live streams of me building these Kroot models or painting the models or making their bases or having battle reports of Kroot, let me know.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Okay.
And yes.
And if you want Kroot feet pics, I will take Kroot feet pics.
Wait, and we can do he's actually showing his feet.
He is showing his feet. They're all barefoot.
No, but he's like that. He's like me when I show you my nail polish.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. And on these happy notes.
The best and high quality content, Kroot related. Thank you everybody for joining us, and check out Still Frosty Gaming for more Kroot content.
Bye bye.